one. She just sat there opening and closing her mouth like a fish. And why, the judge continued, should the court award you half of an estate that was built entirely after you abandoned your family? That's when Mom lost it. She stood up and started yelling. She doesn't need all that money. She's alone, nobody cares about her anyway. She's selfish and cold, just like her father was. The whole courtroom went quiet. Even her own kids looked embarrassed. I felt like she'd slap me. After everything she'd done, she was calling me selfish and cold? She was saying nobody cared about me? The judge banged his gavel. Mrs. Williams, sit down and control yourself. Her lawyer was trying to calm her down, but the damage was done. The judge looked at all the evidence, looked at Mom, then looked at me. I find no legal basis for the plaintiff's claim, he said. The defendant inherited this estate through a valid will from her father, who had full legal right to dispose of his assets as he saw fit. The plaintiff abandoned her parental responsibilities 20 years ago and made no effort to be part of her daughter's life until learning of this inheritance. He paused and looked directly at my mother. Furthermore, I believe the defendant is fortunate that such a mother abandoned her, as she clearly deserved a better life than the plaintiff could have provided. Mom's face went white. Her lawyer tried to object, but the judge shut him down. Case dismissed. The court awards all costs to the defendant. As we were leaving the courtroom, Mom pushed past her lawyer and got right in my face. This isn't over, she hissed. You'll regret this. Ma'am, you need to back away from my client, David said firmly. Her husband finally came over and pulled her away, but she kept staring at me with pure hatred in her eyes. I thought that would be the end of it. I was wrong. A week later, she somehow got my phone number and started calling me. Then she started texting. The messages were crazy, talking about how I was evil, how I'd stolen her children's future, how God would punish me. I blocked her number, but she got new phones and kept calling from different numbers. Then one day she showed up at my office. Dad's construction company had a nice building downtown, and she walked right into the lobby with all 3 kids. I want to see Monica, she yelled at the receptionist. She's my daughter and she's abandoned her family. The poor receptionist didn't know what to do. I heard the commotion and came out to see what was happening. You need to leave, I told Mom. These children are hungry, she screamed. You have millions and they're going without food because of your selfishness. The kids looked mortified. Other employees were staring. It was a complete scene. Security came and escorted her out, but the damage was done. My employees were asking questions, and the whole thing was embarrassing as hell. That's when I called David again. We need a restraining order, I told him. I was hoping it wouldn't come to that, but I think you're right. David filed for the restraining order the next day. We had to go back to court, but this time it was a different judge. A woman in her 50s who looked like she'd seen everything. Your Honor, David said, my client is being harassed and stalked by her biological mother, who has made threats and disrupted her workplace.